Welcome to Magic on Tap, the Magic the Gathering and Beer Review podcast. I'm Jack.
And I'm Xavier.
And today we're talking about Dominaria Remastered again. But more specifically, some of the cards that we really want from it that we are going to be putting into our existing decks or decks that we are building in the future.
Yep, Dominaria Remastered Sloppy Seconds.
My favorite.
To be fair, this set is so good that I'm like, yeah
it warrants a second episode, maybe a third. Who knows?
Right. This is like definitely third plate at the Thanksgiving dinner. It's just so you don't need it, but it's just so fucking good that you just keep coming back.
Yeah, and you just slather the whole thing in fucking gravy, and like push your face into it like a pig.
Yeah.
Oh,
this
God.
Dominaria Remastered, the pig trough.
Yeah. So we're talking about the pig trough today, but first we got to do the barkeep upkeep.
Barkeep upkeep. We're gonna let you know what we're drinking. Do we have a theme today, Jack?
I have one themed beer. Would you like me to go ahead and talk about that?
Yeah, elaborate.
So my first beer is Rewind from Birdsong, which is here in Charlotte, and it's themed because we're talking about Dominaria Remastered. And that's a rewind for Magic. And the beer is called Rewind. See how that goes together?
Yeah. And it's the second time we're doing it, so it's like...
And it's the second time we're doing it. Yeah, whoa. I totally planned that, too.
Yep.
That was on purpose.
On purpose.
So
that's a lager, right?
That's a lager, yeah.
Six.
So while I crack that, do you want to tell me about what you're drinking?
Yeah, I'm still doing this fucking damp January shit where I don't drink any beer. I guess that's what it's called. It's like you don't drink on the weekends and you don't drink on the weekdays and you don't drink beer. So to replace beer, I'm having something that's just as bad for you calorically. It's mead. I'm drinking some mead today I have a couple from Heirloom Honey or Heirloom Brewery. They're out in Meadery. Sorry, holy fuck. Heirloom Meadery in North Carolina, and that's WEHRLOOM. Not like a werewolf loom where once a month you turn into something that is used for sewing, because that would be fucking hilarious.
Weaving, not sewing.
Oh, weaving. Fool. See?
Fucker.
Well, I'm not a heirloom, so I don't know.
So I don't know that. How do you know that?
Could you imagine if you've never seen a loom before, and once a month you turn into one, and you're just like, what the fuck am I?
What the fuck is happening right now? That sounds awesome. I love mead, though.
Yeah, I'm excited. And the first one I have is called Blackberry Mead, and it's BEARY. I'm assuming it's because of the honey in there. It is blackberry with lavender, hibiscus, and vanilla, and it's 6.9%, which will matter when I talk about it more.
Oh, nice.
Cool. So how's your first sip?
It's good. Rewind. I think Birdsong kind of is a little hit or miss, but I actually like Rewind. It's pretty solid. It's a very run of the mill. Really, it's technically a Bohemian Pilsner, but no one knows what the fuck that is. So.
Right. It's exactly like a fucking in Wisconsin. There's a brewery company that has a beer called 12-ounce Curl because it's like a dad joke built into the beer name. It's like, I don't lift weights, I just do 12-ounce curls because you flexing to fucking get the beer to your mouth. And God. I imagine Rewind tastes a lot like that. It's just like a porch pounder or
for sure.
Lawn mowing beer.
Yeah, it's 4% Total Crusher for sure.
This mead is very good. I was expecting it to be sweeter, and I'm very glad it's not. I think the lavender really helps with that. The honey really comes through. I have a really big love-hate relationship with honey. I don't enjoy honey at all raw, but I don't mind it.
Raw and uncut.
Yeah, I don't mind it in stuff. I don't like it in tea, but I don't mind it in I like honey IPAs. I like soda with honey in it. I like honey in it. I mean, obviously you need honey to...
What?
What?
Soda with honey in it?
Yeah, okay, so I'll elaborate on that. Sprecher is a soda company in Wisconsin, and you may or may not have seen their root beer before. They have it pretty much everywhere in the United States. If you go to a Rhino Market in North Carolina, they carry Sprecher root beer, and all of that soda...
I've seen that.
All of it has honey in it. It has, like, Wisconsin honey in it.
Oh, okay.
And once you know that, you can taste it a little bit more.
Yeah, I thought you were, like, adding honey to your soda, and I was like, what the fuck? Is this some sort of, like, northerner thing that I'm too normal to understand?
That is fair. I did have a family member who used to spread liverwurst on donuts, and, like, some good, like, or, like, some Braunschweiger. That's a very fucking northern thing. She's not the only one I've seen do that. That's some German shit right there. There's a lot of Germans and Polacks up there in the cold, so
yes, yeah, a lot.
They eat hearty. Yeah, no, but this is very good. It is very floral, but I don't know. The blackberry is very natural. It's not like this sickly sweet syrup.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy it. That's all I got for that.
I fucking love honey, so I also love mead. I don't drink it like super often, but yeah, that sounds great. I'll have to try to pick some of that up.
And it was pretty cheap. I got a single of it at a bottle shop for $6. And I mean,
nice.
That's, it's a 12-ounce can, but it's also mead. So usually when you buy mead, you buy a bottle for like $15. So
yeah,
it's kind of nice to not, especially for something like this where we're gonna have a couple, and I'm mostly just trying stuff to try new things.
Buy nice singles.
Yes, buy singles. Unless it's really good, buy packs. Like Dominaria Remastered, buy a whole fucking box, and you're gonna make your money back.
Buy a whole fucking box. Dominaria Remastered though. Buy singles of everything else, but Dominaria Remastered you should buy a box of.
Yeah, buy like several.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 8.
On that note, is it time to go to the untapped step?
Yes, I think it is.
Cool. The untapped step, for those who don't know, and I know our fucking one listener,
Jesse.
Jesse, there you go. Our one listener, Jesse, already knows what the untapped step is. But the untapped step is where we read off Untapped reviews for the beers we're drinking and make fun of them. Untapped is a platform that you can use to check in beers and ciders and fucking meads. It had really good intentions when it was created. Unfortunately, people suck and don't know how to use it. And we're the only people in the whole world that know how to use it correctly.
Yep. That's true.
So, Jack, what do you got for Untapped reviews for your beer? What is it? Oh, Rewind. Yeah, for Rewind.
Yeah, Rewind. So normally I try to pick some like really dumb ones. Mm-hmm. Like, someone says, I don't know, this IPA was too sweet for me for Rewind or something. But I have some that I just really love. The first one is from Will Triplett. He has a picture of him with his dog, by the way, as his profile picture, and I love it. His dog is a very good boy or girl. And if you're listening on YouTube, I'll post that picture up there, so plug. Sorry, I was just thinking maybe I shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, we haven't done it anytime we've said we were going to do it in the past, so he's just lying to you now, listener.
Anyway, Will says, crisp, corny boy.
Aw.
No star rating.
Is it corny?
Hold on.
Hold.
Maybe a little corny.
Like creamed corny?
No. I mean, it's. I guess it's kind of like grainy. That's probably where, Greenish.
Not like it's infected corn, because that's like corn is definitely an off flavor in beer.
Yeah, no, I don't think. I mean, maybe he got a bad one. I don't know.
Maybe there's definitely like a difference though. There's like kind of corny, and then there's like straight up creamed corn or like butter popcorn.
Yeah.
Mostly butteriness is fucking not something you want in a beer.
Yeah. So I don't know about the corny, but I just liked his review. Moving on. Jared says lime. Like the fruit lime. That's it.
Maybe he meant line, like he didn't know what he was supposed to say, and he
line. Yeah,
line?
I think that's probably it. Because what the fuck, Jared? I think you should probably get your taste buds checked out. All right. And the last one is from Ryan Michael. He says, wait, why did I pull this one up? I don't actually know. That's all. That's all I've got. I don't know why I had that one. I think I was looking through them and I accidentally opened it.
Nice. Cool. All right. Well, I have 3. Nothing spectacular today, honestly. It's a mead and it's on Untapped, so not that many people I think really think to check them in. First one of the episode.
Sick.
So the first one is from Melinda Skutnik, which is a cool ass name because it is very close to Sputnik, which is like one of my favorite things in history. The fact, like, Sputnik is so fucking funny to me. They're like, oh, let's send this shit up into orbit, and then we're just going to make it beep because it's going to freak everyone out because you can hear it on a fucking radio when it passes over by. And it doesn't, like, do anything. It just beeps to be annoying. That's like I aspire to be that petty in my everyday life. That shit's so fucking funny. Anyway, Melinda Skutnik says, CLT Oktoberfest beer number 3. 3.0 stars out of 5. I just gotta say it's mead. It's not a beer.
Yeah, it's like it is. I think there's a problem with that.
Yeah, but going from that to the next one, from Dale H, Untapped at Home, 2.5 stars out of 5. He says, nothing with the ABV of 6.9 is a mead, and carbonated and fruit added. According to the can, it's a melomel sweet. That's it. So it's like, what is it? Is it a beer? Is it a mead? Is it a beer?
It's carbonated mead. Like in Japan, you can get carbonated whiskey.
Oh.
In a can. It's like that. But mead.
Yeah. So conflicting reviews. Is it beer? Is it a mead? Who's to say? Yeah. I think everyone's wrong on this, and that's another reason why Untapped is dumb. And then the last one is from Justin K, and he just says, like drinking flowers. He didn't give it a rating, but that's all he has to say about it.
Does that mean he liked it? Did he not like it?
I don't know. I guess he just has to say, if you like drinking flowers, then this is the fucking thing for you.
I guess so.
And that's all I have for that.
All right. Well, moving on to the first main. Oh wait, first, we forgot to say this last time, but if you want to see our reviews, we make reviews on Untapped as well. So if you want to see what we say about the beers that we're drinking, you won't, because we do it in the style of magic cards and it has nothing to do with the actual beer.
Yeah.
So,
drink. Listener Daniel again. Because I don't know names. I have panic when put on the spot. It's crazy. I work at a brewery and I have to look at people's names all the time, and I can't retain any when you put me on the spot. Listener Daniel has already checked those out, and you should too. Other new listener, Donnie.
Daniel and Donnie. All right, sure.
Yeah, sick. So what? Rolling in the main phase, eh?
All right, now we're moving on to the first main.
And what are we doing?
What are we doing? So we're talking about some of the cards that we want specifically to put into existing decks or our upcoming decks that we want to build. Not just like, oh, we want it because it's worth a lot of money. Like, obviously everybody wants fucking Force of Will, but I don't have any plans to use it, so I won't be mentioning that one today.
Right.
But it's... Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm probably going to talk about some cards that I'm just glad were reprinted as well, just to have in a more updated... I guess just to make it more available to players or to open new players' eyes to the possibilities of what these cards present.
Yeah, and it's a great curation of like fucking 30 sets or something from across Dominaria, or that took place on Dominaria, so it is a really good way of introducing newer players to different cards.
Yeah, I think you really hit the nail on the head with that word, curation, because this set really, in a, I don't know, I guess in terms of reprints or like reprint sets, this set truly feels curated. Like somebody took the time and looked through all this shit, because I don't know. I mean, like, I split a box with someone, and we had good high-value pulls, but there were so many cards in there that I pulled that I just aren't worth anything, but it was cool as fuck to have, because...
Yeah.
It's very clear somebody put time into this one, I feel like, and that's not... it's very a different feeling than shitting out Transformer cards that nobody's ever going to fucking use, that they're mythic rare and they're worth nothing. None of those cards are worth anything at all.
Yeah.
Which is dumb. Like, why make it mythic and print less and replace my list pull with a Transformer card that's worth fucking nothing?
Yeah.
Stupid.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Can we complain about Transformers and like talk shit on Transformers cards every episode from now on? Because
I'm fine.
We've done it since they were announced. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Listener Sydney, get ready for a video we're gonna have upcoming on our Instagram page, and if you don't follow us already, you should follow us on Magic Untapped. Because I am gonna be teaching everyone how to make a fire, because I've learned that people don't know how to do that, and I have some very interesting fire starters picked out for this. So be ready for that drop. But yeah, getting back to our main phase here. What do you have picked out specifically that you were excited to see or that you're going to be using?
Oh man, there's a lot. Everything in this is so fucking good. I mean, obviously there's the commons and uncommons that you have to have, but even those are fucking, like, a lot of them are really good. Obviously, Ornithopter and stuff. I'm not actually going to put Ornithopter because I have a bunch of those in my... Well, I have one in my colorless artifact deck and stuff. But anyway, moving on. I really want a lot of the borderless cards, partly to replace the non-borderless cards that I do have in decks, but I really want to put them into my existing decks that I've wanted these cards for a while for them. Like Mystic Remora, I have one, but I really want to get another for a deck that I have coming up, which I will not talk about today, but will eventually. Enlightened Tutor, actually for the same deck. I actually want a few Enlightened Tutors because I really want one for my Shrines deck that I still have not built. But
oh man, that would be so fucking good in that.
Yeah, it would be
also,
fucking awesome.
Not to interrupt you, but I'm sure you saw the post that we did for the Instagram.
Oh yeah,
you Jack, but. Literally, I was looking at putting Enlightened Tutor in a deck 2 weeks ago, $47, and since this reprint, with the if you get a Dominaria Remastered one, $17. Let's fucking go, dude.
Fuck yeah.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Absolutely, yes.
That is what we want.
That is
baby.
listener Edward wants is fucking that shit.
Yeah, that is some good shit.
Yeah, and I was talking to one of our friends follows us on Instagram, and he's like, that card's $17? That seems expensive. And I was like, you don't understand.
No, listen.
It was, tack $30 more on that. That's what it was sitting at before, dude. Like, this is it. This is what we all waited for.
Yeah, that's that good shit. So... Yes, absolutely. And buy singles, except for Dominaria Remastered, because you could get a lot of good stuff like Enlightened Tutor.
Dude, you could get a box and you could... my buddy just pulled 3 fucking Worldly Tutors in one box, and then 2 Vampiric Tutors.
I was going to say, the Vampiric Tutors, what the fuck?
Yeah, 2 Vampiric Tutors, 3 Worldly Tutors, and a Mystical Tutor. And that wasn't even it. He pulled a yacht. Like, it was crazy. The pulls on this were insane.
Yeah.
It's because I picked the box out, so that's...
Yeah, that is, that's true. That is why. Shit.
Yeah.
I bought a box today. I should have had you come with me.
Yeah, listener Freddie, I don't know why, but I get godly pulls on packs, and that's part of the reason why I waste so much money on it. It's been a thing since I've been playing Magic. I don't know if I've said... I'm sure I think I said this once on the podcast before, but the first pack I ever bought, it was... they used to make these starter decks... And it was, you would get like 40 cards and some lands plus a booster pack. And the first card I ever pulled was out of a starter deck. It was for Gigantomancer. So this is a deep cut if anyone pulls that up at all.
Yeah.
And I pulled a fucking Kozilek, Butcher of Truth, out of that pack.
Yeah.
That's how I started my career.
Yeah. And you were like, that seems pretty cool.
Yeah, I traded it for a whole deck because I didn't know what it meant at all.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was like, 1 card for many, that seems like a good deal. And now I'm like, what the fuck did you fucking do? I could have bought a deck, a way better deck. But
that's really funny because I always kept all of my Eldrazi's that I've pulled like when I started playing.
They just never seem that cool to me. I mean,
I'm sorry that the fucking Eldritch Horror from Beyond the Veil isn't cool enough for you.
I mean, it is cool, obviously. We're like, we joke and talk smack, but we're all the same fucking nerd here at the end of the day. Obviously, I think like Cthulhu and Eldritch Hoarders are dope. We all do. But I don't know. I thought the guy riding a praying mantis that you pay 7 to make something base power. I think it's like it gives something like +10/+10 until end of turn was cooler than the fucking Eldrazi guy.
It becomes 7/7. Well, it's base power and toughness 7 and 7.
Yes, right.
Yeah. I remember because I had that in the deck too.
Yeah, right. And it was cool. It was like the guy was standing with his arms crossed, and then the praying mantis is like hanging from the ceiling, and they're like, "Yeah, we're fucking buds.
Yeah, we know we're fucking cool."
Yeah. So anyway, what else you got besides the tutor? Obviously.
Well, any tutors would be fucking awesome. I really want, and I know how this sounds. I do, but I really want another vampiric tutor.
We all do.
I know. I just put vampiric tutor into my crick deck, my post deck, and it would be really fucking cool to have the borderless one. Mm-hmm. That would be awesome. Maze of Ith has just always had a soft spot in my heart. I love that card. It's in my first EDH deck that I ever built, and if I could replace that one, which, I should probably play that deck more. But
yeah.
But if I could replace actually that's kind of a hard decision because the one that I have is from the Vault series.
Oh.
No, it's not. I like the borderless one. It's different.
I take it all back.
Yeah.
I did pull a Maze of Ith from that box, and I know that it exists. I know what it does, and then I played with it, and I am like, once you play with that card, God, it's so fucking satisfying. It's crazy.
It's so good. Oh no, your commander is not going to deal damage to me. Actually,
you literally just go nope, and I didn't even. I literally, I tap it, and then I was going and physically untapping the other person's creature for them and sliding it back.
That's so bad.
Satisfaction! And really good in a draft deck, because we did like a quick little draft, and I was playing red-black goblins. Oh, God. So good. You just swing out with them, and you're like, oh, you got a big boy? He's fucking going back. Return to sender.
Yeah. No, never mind. It's not blocking now. Yeah. I mean, your creature is still blocked, but whatever.
No. I mean, like, I would swing out and then have no blockers, but then they would go to attack me and couldn't do anything, because I would just
like,
fucking...
Nope, you can't. Oh, my God. Oh, you're playing Voltron? Here, take this. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You know what that was? That was a fucking Krusty the Clown laugh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get that a lot. I didn't realize that a lot of the time when I laugh, it sounds like I'm hatching an evil scheme. And
That's so good. I mean, it sounded like you were just trying to talk and couldn't.
Nah, that's it. What else you got? Mesa tutors.
Yeah, Wrath of God. I need it.
Oh, do you need a foil borderless one?
I would like one. Do you have it?
Maybe I pulled one out of that box.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It's actually not worth that much. Wow.
No,
Why?
It's not worth as much as you would think, but it is worth
I think
something.
It used to be like worth a lot, and that's why it's in my mind that it is. But
and a lot of that stuff is upgrades too. It's just there are new, faster things.
Yeah, and there are, and there's like stuff like Farewell that exiles instead of destroy, and you can choose a bunch of different modes for it. So
yeah, right.
Power creep.
And that's new meta. Yeah, power creep is a fucking thing.
Yeah.
It's ruining this game.
I don't necessarily need this, but it'd be cool to have the Borderless Helm of Awakening, because I do have that in a deck.
Is that in your group hug deck?
Yeah.
What does Helm of Awakening do again for people that don't know?
Oh, right. Should probably do that. It makes all spells cost 1 less for everybody, not just you. And it costs 2 mana.
Right. I mean, it's really not a bad option in most decks if you're building your deck with the assumption that you're going to be better than everyone else. It's kind of ballsy, but...
Oh, shit. You know what? That might be good in my... That would probably be really good in my Crick deck.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hang on. Let me look at something.
It would be really good in your Crick deck because Crick only works for black mana, right?
Yes.
So you could put, if you have something has 1 colorless and like 3 black mana, you could just pay nothing but life to get it out in the battlefield.
And like,
so
I have Jet Medallion, but then if I had Helm of Awakening 2, I could make my 4 cost stuff cost 4 life.
Oh God, it's disgusting.
Ooh, there's an idea. All right. Oh God. There's also a bunch of stuff in the old border, which I think actually looks really fucking cool. So honestly, any of those in the old border, I wouldn't be too mad about. I pulled a foil entomb in the old border, and that is sick.
I do miss the retro frames. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't realize how much I like seeing them until like Modern Horizons 2 really kind of like because that's like right when you and I both started buying Magic again.
Got the ass.
Yeah, really. I mean, like Strixhaven was like the fucking gateway, and then we dove full in on Modern Horizons 2 because it was so fun.
It's fucking awesome. Buy a box of that too.
Dude, definitely buy a box of that. Like, the more I look at it, I'm like, damn, Modern Horizons 2 is a banger, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. It had the Shocklands in it. It had like a bunch of good shit. It had a bunch of squirrels. Oh, that's another one. I want Xavier's sorry. Nut collector. A nut collector would be pretty cool for my squirrel deck. Actually, I mean, I'd probably get a couple of them.
You just get it from Brandon because you know he's got that borderless alt art nut collector. Yeah, I mean, it is cool to see squirrels again. I do love seeing... Every time I see a squirrel, I'm like, you go, Magic. You go, Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, good for you.
Give them what they want. Give the people what they want.
Yeah,
but that's
exactly.
not even...
Get more
That's not even...
squirrels.
It's not even trash tribal, because squirrels are actually a thing.
Yeah, squirrels are, like, actually good. What else? Did I have something open? I thought about putting Chainer Dementia Master in my Crick deck before, actually. Mm-hmm. I haven't done it, so, if I pull one of him, maybe I'll find a place for him. He could definitely be good in that.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
But what does he do again? What is his full ability list? Because he pumps up nightmares. I forgot what the secondary thing is.
Pay 3 black and 3 life to put target creature from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. And then it's black and a nightmare in addition to its other types.
Oh.
Yeah. And then when he dies, well, technically, when he leaves the battlefield, exile all nightmares. That part I don't really care about. But, like,
yeah, right.
I could, for, 9 life, put any creature from a graveyard onto the battlefield. Oh, yeah, I'll take your, what's a good example? Titan of Industry or whatever.
Is that exile all nightmares you control or just all nightmares?
All nightmares.
Okay, that's a funny, weird counter, too. Our friend runs a cosmic horror deck that has horrors and nightmares in it, so you could potentially wipe out, like, half his shit.
That would be good. The last one that I'll mention is Legacy Weapon, which I'd seen before, but just, I haven't thought about it. But that one is 7 for an artifact. You can pay Wooborg to exile target permanent, and then if it would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, you instead shuffle it into your library.
Ooh, classic Wooburg staple. That's an old Wooburg staple.
Yeah, but that might be good in, like, my upgraded Precon Jared deck. J-Rad. Because it's that deck actually has a good amount of removal, which I did piss Brandon off with because I kept, like, exiling his bridge and stuff. But it would be pretty good, I think, in that because it also has a lot of ramps. So
yeah,
but I think those are, like, my big ones. Do you have any ones that you want to point out specifically?
Yeah, I have quite a few. I'll just knock out some really quick. There's a lot of uncommons that I was really happy to see come back out. Nightscape Familiar is a common printed in this set, and everyone who's bought a precon that is Maestro or Grixis is, like, the old term for it, has seen this card because it's in every fucking precon. But it is nice to get a wider release. It is 1 colorless, 1 black for a 1/1. Blue spells and red spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. And then you can pay 1 colorless and 1 black to regenerate Nightscape Familiar. For a fucking 2-drop 1/1 common, this card is putting in lots of work.
Yeah.
He's like, that's really good. That's a really good common card that you will find in the 99 for any red-black deck, I would think. Like, seeing that is good. Something like that I would see if I was looking through... It just really brings me back to looking through bulk commons, and I would see something like that and pull it out and buy it for a penny at my local card shop, and I would just buy a playset of those when I was playing 60 and, like, have some dumb fucking deck.
Yeah.
Because you're like, okay, well, these cost 1 less, now I can put fucking 3 Scramble Verses in here. I like the gateway that opens up.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Faceless Butcher is a fun one that I know you have in one of your decks.
Yeah.
That is a good card, I think, and it's I I just like seeing colors do stuff that is outside of their color scheme. Mm-hmm. And Faceless Butcher is 2 colorless and 2 black pips for a nightmare horror creature. It's a 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, you exile another target creature. When Faceless Butcher leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to the battlefield under its owner's control. So this is like white removal on a black creature, because that exiling bullshit is something we've all seen in white over and over again, like Oblivion Ring. Like, there's a million instances of it. So it's very interesting to see that in black. And it's little stuff like that where when you want to make some bullshit skip turn deck and it needs to be a certain color scheme, these are the kind of cards that make decks like that work because it's outside of what the norm is for that color. So I like seeing weird shit like that.
And you can cheat it like you can with Oblivion Ring, where in response to the trigger you like kill him or bounce him or something.
Right.
And then his leaves play trigger comes before his enters trigger, and then whatever gets exiled just stays exiled.
Yeah, right. Which is crazy and dumb.
Yeah.
But just kind of, I'm just probably going to go from like commons to uncommons here. And keeping in that strain of thought. Mesa Enchantress is cool that I got reprinted because I pulled like 3 of those, and they're just nice to have because everyone's going to make an enchantment deck at some point. It's probably always going to have like white or green in it.
Yep.
And you're just going to want to have one. So it's nice when you buy a box or when you buy packs and not every card in the pack besides the rare is useless, so you kind of feel like you're getting your money's worth. And this is a card that makes me more okay with having bought a box because I know pulling 3 of these is not the end of the world. I'm probably going to end up using 3 of them at some point.
Yeah.
Or it's trade fodder. You know, you want to sweeten the pot for someone, so you toss in a Mesa Enchantress because you know you have 3 of them, and it's enough
and
to
you're rounding up to the next dollar or whatever.
Right, exactly. And Mesa Enchantress is 1 colorless, 2 white pips for a 0/2. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you may draw a card. So, very good and
pretty fucking
good. Pretty good. Very good in a Selesnya Enchantress deck. Like, there's a reason it's called an Enchantress deck.
Yeah.
What else? All the triomes that got printed are the layers. Sorry, that got printed are fucking really good.
Yeah, I meant to mention that. I have never seen these before, and they seem awesome.
They're like really, they're really good. Yeah, I've never seen them either. It might be the best version. Well, okay, that's arguable. I think the
don't
new
have
Capenna.
cycling.
Was that?
They don't have cycling.
Right, but the new Capenna triomes are really hard to beat, and outside of the cycling, the fact that they are swamp mountain islands or whatever is something that can be pulled from like a Farseek
or something.
Yeah, right. That's really fucking hard to beat, but these layer cards are really solid. Just to read one off, Croesus's Catacombs is a land. It's a layer type land. When Croesus's Catacombs enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you return a non-layer land you control to its owner's hand. And it doesn't come in tapped, and it taps for blue, black, or red, and they have one in like each color combination.
Yeah, so that seems better than the normal budget tri-lands. Like Crumbling Necropolis would be the one for Croesus's cat, like that color scheme.
Correct. Yeah.
And that one just comes in tapped. This is fucking awesome.
And even the cycle lands come in tapped as well. Those triomes come in tapped, I believe.
Yeah.
So this, especially in like CEDH, I'm expecting that these lands will play more, especially if you're running, I don't know, like red, green, black, or red, green, white landfall. I mean, it's an auto include for that, and the fact that it doesn't come in tapped is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like a mana fixer in itself. Let's say you're rich in green, but you need a red, and you can just pull a fucking forest into your hand, and dump out this, and you have the mana you need now. So, at the very minimum, you're paying 1 to tap for whatever color of mana you need in this instant, which is seems pretty fucking good to me. And the fact that it's an uncommon is
right. So, like, either way, if it entered tapped, you would be down 1 mana, and then if it bounces a land, you're also down 1 mana. So,
right.
The downside is, like, the same. Actually, not even as much, because obviously it's untapped. So,
right. Great. Also, a very fun card that I think has really, really good potential, that I've somehow never seen before, is Elvish Spirit Guide.
You've never seen that before? That's surprising.
No. Yeah. I don't know. I don't play... Green is such a... It's so spoiled that I just really don't ever play green too much, or I never look too deep into green cards. And I feel like green... Outside of that Thrun V1 deck I made, you're just slowly like... Yeah, the Thrun V1 deck that I talked about on the podcast, I've never really done a deep dive into green as a color, so I haven't come across this before, but it is 2 colorless and a green pip for a 2/2 elf spirit. You can exile Elvish Spirit Guide from your hand and add 1 green mana, and that seems really fucking good.
Yeah. So this sees a lot of play in the older 60 card formats. So Legacy and Vintage definitely see it a lot. I don't think it's quite as good in Commander.
No, but it's, if you're budgeting, it's $1, but that 1 mana can do a lot for you. I mean, especially like the mind fuck of somebody sees that you're tapped out, right? And they swing everything at you, and you exile Elvish Spirit Guide, and then you play Fog for 1, and it totally fucks everything
like,
up for
someone. God, what?
Yeah, you're like, what? That's it. Oh God, just that possibility is enough to make me run this in the 99. Or if you think you have enough card draw, if you're waffling between having more card draw or having more ramp, this could replace a cantrip in your 99. And a cantrip is just a creature that like comes in and draws you a card, or when it dies, it draws you a card. In case you're not sure. So it's a really cool option, I think, and there's a reason where it's an uncommon and it costs $1 even with the reprint.
Yeah. Or like, you have it in your opening hand in a forest, and then you play your forest, exile that, and play Llanowar Elves and Fintorn Elves, and then turn 2 you have 4 mana.
Right. Or imagine you 1-drop into a Soul Ring, and then you exile that, and then you have 3 mana, and that could be casting a commander or something. That could be playing Command Sphere. It could, the potential is pretty good. So I like seeing that, and I don't know, man. There's just so many, honestly. Like Royal Assassin is something else I'm really excited to see back, and that has a lot of nostalgia for me. It is colorless, 2 black pips for a 1/1. Not great, but its ability is fucking insane. You tap to destroy target tapped creature. And when I first saw this card and was running it, I was like, okay, it's pretty good, whatever. And then I played my friend, and I went to attack him, and he had one, and he tapped and destroyed my attacking creature as soon as I tapped it. And I was like, oh my God, that's how you're supposed to play this.
I don't have to take the damage. What?
Well, I was like, wow, that's crazy. It's like a angry Maze of Ith.
Yeah, a little bit.
So he's super cool. Just, I don't know, Arborea, I've talked about it before, especially in Thrun V1.
Yeah.
world enchantment, and it's super weird, and I'm really glad to see this weird-ass card get reprinted, because this is another card that I only found through doing extensive searches for weird green cards.
Yeah.
But it's 2 colorless, 2 green pips for a world enchantment. Creatures can't attack a player unless that player casts a spell or put a non-token permanent onto the battlefield during their last turn. And I was just playing against myself with another deck, and I didn't realize how important that or put a non-token permanent onto the battlefield during the last turn is.
Yeah.
Because you do that a lot more than you think. You're like, oh, okay, I don't just put stuff onto the battlefield. And you're like, oh, fuck, every ramp card ever, every, if you're running a Franz, or what the fuck is it? I always fuck it up.
What?
Killed by the Lurgoyf.
Oh, Hans?
Yeah, I almost said Leif Erikson. Hans. If you're running a Hans deck, he just shits stuff onto the battlefield, so that would make you able to be attacked by Arborea. It's just a weird extra condition that I really like. It can definitely stretch games out if you're trying to run like some Selesnya stacks cheese, which would be weird because I feel like that's usually a blue-white thing or mono-white. It's just a fun, weird interaction to have. Crawl Space is another card that I don't really.
Oh, that one's fun.
Yeah, it's another like kind of stacks thing and stuff, like having cards like those. If you run a deck that's all stacks, like go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I hate you.
But if you're trying to run some weird combo and you need to just delay the game a little bit, cards like this are like what's gonna get you there. Crawl
You're just
Space.
mad because you can't play around stacks.
Yeah.
Well, I'm mad because you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah, right. I'm just mad because, that's not, like, I quit. I fucking quit. I concede. I'm going to concede every time. It's not even going to be fun
I'm going to go home and drink instead.
Yeah, right. Fuck you. We don't have to hang out anymore.
Yeah.
But Crawl Space is 3 colorless. For an artifact, no more than 2 creatures can attack you each combat. And just, I don't know. I like little shit like that. It is cool to, I was just going to say really quick, it's cool to see Threshold come back.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
I've always liked Threshold, and it's something that you don't necessarily need to. It's a mechanic you don't necessarily need to build a whole deck around for it to work for you.
Yeah.
And a lot of Threshold cards. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are definitely Threshold cards that just fucking suck, unless Threshold is a thing. But a lot of them, it's like ancillary. I'm not really sitting around waiting for Threshold to activate, and then it does, and I'm like, oh, cool, it's an extra thing.
Cool. Like our boy
Werebear?
Werebear?
Oh, yeah, dude. Werebear got a fucking reprint. Let's go. It's because they listened to the podcast. And like, oh, yeah, Werebear is kind of dope, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
The bear druid, that it's 1 colorless, 1 green for a 1/1 that taps for green and then has Threshold. And I think it gets, what, +2/+2?
It's +3/+3.
Oh, my God, even better than
Right?
that. And then it's flavor text is he exercises his right to bear arms. Like, I didn't even look at that. I just know that off the top of my head because I fucking love Werebear, dude.
And you knew that what I was talking about when I said our boy, so.
I'm going to rip open my shirt to reveal a Werebear tattoo. He's just pulling through my skin. Yeah, but a card that I am including in a deck, it's in my skip turn deck, is Hunting Grounds, and it is it's Selesnya, so it's 1 green, 1 white pip for an enchantment, and its only ability is a Threshold ability, so that's interesting. But it says as long as 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, Hunting Grounds has whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. And that is pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Right, and especially since Green has been... I mean, Green has always had the capability to self-mill, but that's not hard to do at all. Just casually even And, like, you're going to play that many cards, especially, like, green-white. Like, you could play 3 fucking green ramp spells, and you're almost halfway to that total you need for Threshold to activate, so it's it's really not that hard to do at all. So, yeah, Hunting Grounds is a good card.
Yeah. And if you're playing green, and you just, like, ramp, that's it. And
yeah, ramp will do it. Real quick.
Hey. Oh, I think you're about to say the same thing.
I'm ready for another fucking drink.
I am too.
Sick. What do you got?
I've got Winter Wing from King Canary.
Ooh, that's a good one. What is it? I already know what it is, but for listener Francis, what is it?
Well, so first, King Canary is in Mooresville, North Carolina. I know that you have never heard of Mooresville, listener Luke, but that's where it is. And Winter Wing is a blonde ale with, hold on, I have to look at the can again. Ginger and chai. So, sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's a weird one. I have... It's called Everybody Loves a Ginger.
Nice.
It's from Weirloom as well, Weirloom Meadery, and it is a ginger mead with green tea, lemon, and lime. It is 5.5%. So I'm excited for this one. This is actually what caught my eye when I was looking through the shop, was this one. And I pulled it out of a single rack, and then that blueberry, lavender, hibiscus, vanilla one slid out from behind it. And I was like, yeah, I'll have that one too.
Take me.
Yeah. Oh, look at it. Yeah. Sells itself. So, how's your first sipperoonie tasting?
Real solid. I already like ginger and chai, so, I think I'm predisposed to like this. But it's not overpowering. I feel like there's a lot of chai stuff that's just, like, way too much. And it gets to be kind of sickly. And this is not. It's very drinkable, and I definitely feel like I could actually finish a whole one of them, unlike a lot of those other ones.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And I think that it's interesting to have it as a blonde. I think that helps with that, like, sickliness, like you were saying. Because I don't see too many chai blondes. They're almost always, like, brown ales or something darker. So that's really fun. This fucking mead is dope. It is really, really good. Yes. The ginger comes through really well. The green tea kind of helps mellow it out, and that lemon lime adds like a little citrusiness to it. It reminds me a lot of a it's like drinking a Moscow Mule, but with like a little bit of honey in it, so it kind of sweetens it up a bit, and it's a really fun combination, and I definitely think I'm gonna buy this again. It's that good.
Oh wow! I want to try it.
Yeah, it's the perfect listener. Oh my god, let me look at this fucking list of
Jay.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna do. DJ. Listener DJ. I love beer. Jack loves beer. We love beer. We're a beer reviewed podcast.
We're all beers. Yeah, wait.
We're all beers here.
Yeah.
That's the sound of me popping my own top. Whoa, wait. I can't do that in public.
No, you can't.
We all love beer here, but sometimes you just get fucking beered out. You know what I mean? Like, even if you're drinking a light beer, it's just still beer at the end of the day, and there's gonna be a point where you're like, God, I don't want to even look at beer.
Yeah,
especially like
true.
Working in the industry, sometimes you just need to get out of it, and this seems like a very solid go-to for something that isn't beer, that is still good. It's still craft. It's not sickly sweet, so you don't have to like fall down the cider hole where you're trying to figure out if it's gonna be cough medicine or if it's gonna be really dry. It's just really fucking good.
All right,
that's praise. It. Untapped. The second untapped step here. What do you got for your shit?
In the middle of our turn before the sign. It's fine. Don't think about it too hard. I have a review from JW. This person said, hoppy for a blonde, very well balanced chai. Well, I agree with the second part. But definitely not hoppy. The ginger and chai help with that for sure. It's not hoppy at all, so I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Next one.
Yeah, sorry, I was just going to say, it is interesting to have ginger and chai together and it not being overly spiced.
Yeah, it is well balanced. And I could probably drink another one after this, and maybe I will, I don't know.
Yeah, cheers to, I'm going to fuck it up. Never mind. I'm not going to try and act like I know his name. I do know his name, but I can't remember it right now. Forgive me! Cut this out! Remove it!
No.
Continue. What are you saying?
And so my next review is from Cole Counts. I don't know what he's counting. And he said, amazing cinnamon flavor. This does not have any cinnamon in it.
Okay, that's true, but you kind of get what he's trying to say.
Although, now that I say that, chai might have some cinnamon in it. Like chai spice.
Well, they're in the same family. At least he didn't say, wow, it tastes just like Goldschlager.
Oh my God.
Our friend who lives in a time before cinnamon.
Yeah.
BC, before cinnamon. That's a callback for the one person, Norman, who remembers that episode. So, cheers to you, Norman.
No, I looked it up. Chai spice does have some cinnamon in it. So
there you go. I'm just really sensitive to cinnamon, so it's something I really notice when it's in beers. I notice when it's present immediately. I can smell it across the tap room, so
it makes me come. My next one is from Stephen M. And he did not write a review. He gave it 5 out of 5 stars. But the reason I picked this one is because he appears to have taken a picture of the bartender, the place that he got this. And she does not want to be in this picture. You
need to send this to me immediately.
Oh, yeah. She has a look of worry on her face. She's like,
why am I in this?
What the fuck is wrong with this guy? I already told him no.
Yeah, it is very much so that. Aw.
I feel bad for her. I want to send her a gift to be like, I'm sorry that this guy put you through that.
Her shirt is cut off, but I'm almost positive it says, I need a drink.
Let's go with that. I'm going to hope that that's probably what it says. Although maybe I hope it says, I need dick. But probably I need a drink.
Yeah. We all need drinks.
Yeah.
Water everywhere and not a drop to drink. It's the curse of being a bartender. You just have to pour beer all day and you're like, God, that pour looks so fucking good, dude. And you just can't drink it.
I want to drink that right now. Anyway, that's all I've got.
Sick. My reviews are going to be lackluster. Because, once again, not that many check-ins for this. So we're really stretching here to find something that I could actually talk about. I almost threw up.
Very good.
Okay, we're not going to read this one because I don't even know why I picked it.
Second one of the episode.
Yes. This one says, good for a ginger mead. And it's 3.7 stars from Tracy Shields. Checked in at the meadery. And I just really want to know, how many ginger meads are you having that it warrants saying it's good for a ginger mead? Can it just be good? Why does it have to be good for a blank?
I think maybe they mean, if you want a ginger mead, this is good.
I don't know. It's got that, weird fucking backhand compliment shit where it's just can you just say this is good? Why does it have to be good for or this is Actually, this
actually.
is pretty good. What do you mean, actually? Like, what, you thought you were going to drink my fucking piss in a cup before, and now you're like, oh, it's not piss? This is great. What do you...
Actually, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Actually. Yeah, things can just be good. It's all right for you to just like something. Nobody's judging you here. Nobody's going to think you're less cool for liking something. Like, I fucking poured it for you for a reason. That's not true, actually. If you come to the fucking if you come to the tap room and you order a fucking hazy IPA, I'm probably going to judge you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, immediately recount what I just said, because I am lying to you. And then the last review says, yada, yada, yada. We also had a honey flight when we were here, and I was just really interested in what a honey flight is. Do they give you things to put the honey on, or are you just fucking raw dogging some bee sauce? Like, what? Do they just pour you like a little thimble of it, and you just down sauce? It like a greedy little honey monster? Like, what is a honey flight? Can you really taste the difference?
Yeah. Well, this honey tastes more like bee vomit than the other honey.
This is our control. It's just store-bought trash. And then, like, you just compare every honey after to that. So I like almost want to double down on a honey flight, and then thinking of the implications of a honey flight, I don't want to pour a beer flight. I can't imagine what assembling a honey flight's like. I'm assuming you just pre-assemble it, but yeah, I don't really like the box that opens, and I'd like to just keep the lid closed on it. So thank you for
so many questions.
Yeah. But do you have anything else for the main step? We're done with Untapped step now, I decided.
it's over.
Yeah, we're two-headed giant, but only one of us is deciding how this goes.
But I play your hand and my hand, and you don't get a decision.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm done.
Cool. Well, I guess it's on to the next phase. So, hey, Jack.
Yeah.
What you brewing?
I don't like that. I'm brewing Sphinx Tribal.
Hey, Sphinxter.
Oh my god, I have to change the title of it to that now. I fucking slammed my face on the keyboard and it came out with Sphinx with a Z. Oh no, Spings. Anyway, this is one that I've actually had the idea for a while, but I've never actually built it out. So the commander is Unesh, Cryosphinx Sovereign, and he costs 2 blue and 4 for obviously legendary creature Sphinx. He's a 4/4 flying. Sphinx spells you cast cost 2 less to cast, so obviously good shit. And whenever this guy or another Sphinx enters the battlefield under your control, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. Put 1 pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. So it's like Sphinx of Uthun. Is that the one that does the same thing? But like every time you get a Sphinx, which is pretty cool and very Sphinx-like.
Yes, so you are deciding to do mono blue then.
Mm-hmm.
Did you weigh the options of doing Azorius?
Yeah, I looked, and there just aren't that many Sphinxes that make it worth it, and the making Sphinxes cost 2 less with Unesh is just too good.
Yeah, right. It's like a true tribal deck running Unesh, and as we know, Sphinxes are fucking dummy expensive. They're always like I don't think there's any below 4. CMC, or what is it, mana value? No.
Oh yeah, mana value. No.
Ugh, it's CMC. Let's fuck off with your fucking. How are you gonna change that shit? Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Why? Like I don't get it. I mean, there is Rafine from fucking New Capenna. costs 3, which is dumb, by the way. Rafine is a badly designed card and never should have been printed.
It's miserable. I pulled Rafine and I was like, why the fuck do I have this?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay. Anyway. Yeah. So I have, I think, pretty much every mono blue Sphinx in here. But like the more notable ones, Consecrated Sphinx, of course. Whenever an opponent draws a card, you draw 2 cards. Which I have 1 copy of that, and I just move it between stupid decks that I build. I built a fucking deck that puts my entire deck into the command zone, and I put Consecrated Sphinx in it. That deck is, by the way, that deck is worth like fucking $400.
Why?
And I just pulled it. I because it has a bunch of good cards in it, but the whole point is just to put my entire deck into the command zone, and I feel like that makes it funnier.
Yeah, it's really funny to use expensive cards for not their purpose.
Yeah. Sphinx Ambassador, which definitely has some, what would I call those? Stitties? Sphinx titties?
Oh, it does.
Yeah. Which says, well, do I have to go through the whole thing? I don't think it really matters, does it?
Yeah. I want you to read the whole thing.
Oh, you know what? Just for you. I'll read it very slowly. No,
that seems passive aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah. 2 blue and 5 for a 5/5 flying. And it says whenever it deals combat damage to a player, search that player's library for a card. Then they name a card, and if you search for a creature that isn't the named card, you may put it onto the battlefield under your control, and then that player shuffles their library.
That's really fucking funny.
It just goes back into their library if they get it right. So yeah, I kind of love that.
Yeah, I really like Enigma Thief because I like the idea behind it, where it's like, imagine you're walking outside and you're like, what is that? I have no idea. I've never seen that before. And this fucking Sphinx shows up and is like, yoink!
Yeah.
Yeah.
For context, Enigma Thief is 2 blue and 5 for a 5/5 flyer. It has Prowl for 1 blue and 3, which you don't see a lot. You may cast a spell for its Prowl cost if you dealt combat damage to a player with a Sphinx or a Rogue this turn. Which is... what? And then when it enters the battlefield, for each opponent, return up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls to its owner's hand. So, it is pretty good in Commander. Not very good otherwise.
No, and I guess for even more context, this card was printed in a precon. It was in the Rogues precon deck.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of cards in that had Prowl. And if you've never seen that precon deck, it is really fucking mean. It's just disgusting. Mean. It is the just the worst kind of Dimir deck you can think of.
Yeah. Yeah,
rogues are mean. Yeah. Right. If you play Rogues and you're not new to Magic, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's really good. If you're new to Magic, that deck is a perfect purchase. Tribal's always easy to start to break down some of the barriers in terms of mechanics for new players. I think when I started playing Magic, I was playing mono black Tribal Vampires because you just get used to interactions that way. It's really fucking easy. So great purchase for new people. If you just are a chump who looks at other people's deck lists and then you just buy this because you know it's good, fuck you.
Oh,
stop.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, stop playing this fucking game.
Yeah. I don't ever want you around me.
No, we'll never play Magic with you. So this podcast is for everyone besides the people that fucking look up deck lists and play Magic that way.
Yeah, no net deckers. Get out.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Net decker punks, fuck off.
That's going to be our bumper sticker.
Yeah, so it's got a bunch of fucking sphinxes. It has, in fact, 29 of them. Um, every creature is a sphinx. So, actually, technically 30 with my commander. And it does have a couple of counters because, hey, as it turns out, blue doesn't have a ton of ramp, and sphinxes cost a lot of fucking mana. So I need to protect myself somehow.
Yeah.
So there's some counter spells and stuff, but it's otherwise trying to just do funny shit with sphinxes.
Yeah, I noticed that you don't have any colorless sphinxes in there, but since you're running one color, I guess there's really no need, and I can't necessarily say that any colorless sphinx is better than any mono blue sphinx. I'm looking at your deck list now. I noticed that you threw Urza's Incubator in there, which definitely needs a shout out because that is a Dominaria Remastered reprint that we haven't talked about yet, but should be every staple in every fucking trash tribal deck ever. To be fair, they know that, and that's why this card is fucking $30.
Yeah. But it is in here because it got reprinted, so hopefully I can get one of those.
Right. And real quick, Urza's Incubator is 3 for an artifact, which is somehow not legendary.
That is weird.
It's super weird, right? But as Urza, and it's a 3-drop it's crazy. It's crazy that it's not legendary. It's a 3-drop. And it has a dope-ass ability. But as Urza's Incubator enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. Creature spells of the chosen type cost 2 colorless less to cast. 3-drop, non-legendary. If you're playing 60, you can run fucking 4 of these bad boys. The only thing stopping you is that they're $30 a pop.
Yeah.
Which doesn't matter for competitive standard players that, for whatever reason, are trying to play tribal. Imagine casting just nothing but 1-drop goblins.
Yeah. Might not work so well.
Yeah. But
oh wait, are you saying like if you had that out, then some of your goblins that do cost some colorless mana would be insane?
Yeah. They would just, every goblin that pumps up other goblins usually has colorless in it, and at that point you're just paying red pips. So you're running mono red gobos with fucking Urza's Incubator in it, and everything just got even better.
Yeah.
Which is totally unnecessary for goblins, but yeah, whatever. It's like, so this Urza's Incubator, if you have a spare coat of arms lying around, that should also be an auto include in any trash tribal deck, but it almost feels like a cop out.
Yeah.
We're like punk rock Magic players, so
yeah. Netdecker punks fuck off.
I do love that. But coat of arms and what is his name? Polyurethane. That fucking
what?
Polygamy. I forgot what is that thing's Morophon.
I was like polymorph, but I get it. Polymorphon.
Yeah, polymorphon. Morophon, like, oh, okay, that's easy. I can play whatever I want, but it's like a cop out.
Fucking, that card shouldn't have been printed.
Yeah,
I have a lot of opinions about cards that shouldn't have been printed.
People are too afraid to make bad decks.
Yeah, and that's dumb. Like, I have a couple of good decks, and the rest are just trash.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, you learn so much from making a trash deck, because I have decks that are good, and I kind of understand why they're good, but I don't know. I've learned so much more from making bad decks and seeing why something sucks than making a good deck from the jump. Everyone needs to flop sometimes.
And sometimes we play with people, like, I'll bring a new deck, and people are like, how do you build fucking good decks all the time? And I'm like, I don't. I fucking built a bunch of really shit decks, and I figured out why they were shit, and now I know how to make them less shit. Right. And even that doesn't work a lot of the time, so...
Right. I mean, like, I have maybe... At any given moment, I probably have 3 or 4 commander decks that are built, and ready to go. But I have easily made well over 100. It has to be like hundreds of decks at this point, because there's so many decks I've built for a day, played with, pulled them apart. Like it's just endless, and doing that all the time is gonna teach you what's good and what's bad. And that's why net deckers can fuck off, because you're not learning anything. You're learning what somebody else told you. You're robbing yourself of an experience. And why spend?
And that's not what Magic is about. Like,
no, you're spending a bunch of money because somebody told you to at that point. Like, we spend money because we love this fucking game. Why? I don't know. I just don't get the appeal of that. But this is not the beer and fucking people that play Magic wrong review podcast. I mean, it kind of is, but
a little bit.
So that's all I have to say about that. But no, this Sphinx deck seems really fun. It'll be fun to
and I'll probably take some of this stuff out because I have like fucking Nykthos in here that I just kind of threw stuff in here that would be good and not thinking about price, but I don't want to buy Nykthos or Cyclonic Rift. So
yeah, I mean, Cyclonic Rift, real good. Another Commander staple. We'll have to do an episode just reviewing Commander staples, quote unquote. And maybe just some budget replacements for those. But Cyclonic Rift, obviously you have one. You should throw it in a deck. That's what everyone will say. I'll say, if you think something's cooler, fucking put it in, as long as you're in the right play group. It's all about having fun. So if you have to have a Cyclonic Rift to have fun, good on you, I guess. I would never do that because I don't fucking have money like that.
It's a lot.
Right.
But yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Might be more fun if I actually cut some of the expensive stuff.
Yeah, probably. I always like finding replacements for expensive stuff, and you know, like my Rogue Rack deck runs really, really well, and there were cuts I made to that where I thought I bought stuff off of whatever TCG player, and certain shops didn't have those cards, so I just had to quick throw some stuff in, and I have barely made any edits to that deck because it runs so well. Even with those edits, and it saved me money in the long run. So, I mean, there's lots of cheap options. That's why I think we highlight a lot of really cheap cards a lot, because I think people overlook them. There's like almost this sort of bias that runs against commons and uncommons, but
yeah,
they're the glue.
Are a lot of good ones.
Right. They're the glue.
They sure are. Yeah. Anyway, Xavier.
Yeah.
What you brewing?
What am I brewing? I am brewing a...
That's what I just fucking said.
I'm brewing a Zerta the Dawnwaker deck. It is colorless for Boros, so red or white. 3/3 Elemental Fox. It does have Companion. I don't fucking care about the Companion thing, but just to read it off. Companion, each permanent card in your starting deck has an activated ability. Doesn't matter. This is going to be my commander. I'm not running it for its commander thing, or its fucking Companion thing. Its static is abilities you activate that aren't mana abilities cost 2 less to activate. This effect can't reduce the mana in that cost to less than 1 mana. That's a pretty good ability. It's not why I picked this card, but it's really cool that just happens to exist on this. And then it has an activated ability. You pay 1 colorless, tap it, target creature can't block this turn, which is why I picked it. This whole deck that I'm making, it's called Get Drafted Scrub, and it is about controlling other players' combat steps and controlling their blockers. So it's all about combat, baby. I am gonna be making creatures attack every turn. I am gonna pick blockers. I am gonna make it so creatures can't block. It's just gonna be weirdly mean. And something that the card that really made me want to make this deck was actually, it's called General Jarkeld, or Yarkeld probably. He is and I found this card in a list of worst Magic cards in the game. It was like I looked up once every 2 months, once a month, I go into Google and I just type weird Magic cards into the search and hit enter and see what pops up. And this was on a list of worst Magic cards in Commander, and General Yarkeld says he's a 3 colorless, 1 white for 1/2. Horrible already. You tap him, switch the blocking creatures of 2 target attacking creatures. All defense must remain legal. Use this ability only during combat, after defense is chosen, and before damage is dealt. So you're just doing like a flipsy doodle on creatures, and I had never really noticed a card like that before, so I immediately fell down a hole with it. And there's a lot of stuff like that. So what else do we have? Just to highlight some quick cards that really made me make this Boros. What do we have? Melee is a instant. It's a 5-drop instant, which is already horrible. It's also from Ice Age, so they clearly had some sort of theme going on with this. It's 4 colorless, 1 red mana. Cast only on your turn during combat before defense is chosen. Wow. Already a lot. Choose how attacking creatures you control are blocked. All defense must be legal. After declaring blocking, untap any unblocked attacking creature. Treat those creatures as though they had not attacked.
So you have to block your own creatures.
You have to choose blockers for your creatures, and they have to be blocked, otherwise it didn't count.
Wow. Seems really bad.
And it's a 5-drop instant to do that. It's so bad. Oh, God. But just like, that's such an interesting interaction that I haven't seen in this game. And, you know, I have a lot of really mean cards in here. So we have Avatar of Slaughter. Avatar of Slaughter, if you've never seen it, you probably never will. Nobody plays with this card. It is 6 colorless, 2 red pips, all creatures. Once again, for everyone in the back, TJ, listener, all creatures have double strike and attack each combat if able. Like, why the fuck would you do that? It is 6 colorless, 2 red pips, and it's an 8/8. It's just like, let's go.
Great. Oh my god, I really want you to play Avatar of Slaughter against my Artifact Commander.
Oh, yeah. You said people just get commander damage to death like in one swing?
Immediately. Just like, because that already relies on commander damage.
Yeah.
And I have ways of giving him double strike, but like,
yeah.
If you just do it for me.
Oh, yeah. And since I'm fucking with combat in general, we have creatures that can block more than one creature. We have Masako the Humorless, and she has Flash. It's 2 colorless, 1 white for a 2/1. Tapped creatures you control may block as though they were untapped. So that'll catch somebody off their rocker for sure. I have Blade Historian, which is 4 Boros.
Oh, God.
Attacking creatures you control have double strike. I have Monarch cards in here that will make people want to attack me. I have just like, this is such a combat heavy deck, and I've never built a deck like this. I really don't ever play mono white because it's so boring. But I think Boros is kind of slept on in casual formats. I know it's definitely seen a lot of action in like draft or standard or more competitive formats, I'm sure. But there's a lot of fuck around and find out stuff in Boros that is, I think, is just untapped because white and red has always been a hard color to work with in Commander, in my opinion, because it doesn't have that ramp like any other. It doesn't have the tutors. It doesn't have the ramp that you see in green. It doesn't have the counters like you see in blue, unless you're running like an Angels deck. I don't know. Red-white has just always been a tricky thing to work with, so it presents an interesting challenge.
And if you're playing Angels, then you're playing Orzhov.
Right, now you're playing Orzhov, yeah. So unless you're running like white weenie soldiers or something, and Boros is a color scheme that gets better every new set. They're constantly printing cards in white to try and make white more playable. Yeah. It is, it's like the lagging strand where it's like, I'm almost there, and you're like, yeah, I'm a fucking way ahead of that. That's a little science joke for you, listener.
Jesper.
Oh.
Oh.
But we have, what else do we have? We have one white counter spell in here. We have Swords to Plowshare. We have Path to Exile. I have Deflecting Palm in here, which I think I've talked about. I don't know if we talked about that on or off the pod, but I love deflecting the fucking pod, the cast, dude. Deflecting Palm is hilarious, not only because of the art, where it's literally somebody who's just like talk to the hand.
Yeah.
I think I was referring it to the No You card. But it is Boros, so 1 red, 1 white. The next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage. If damage is prevented this way, Deflecting Palm deals that much damage to the source's controller, so that's another, like, you're untapped, or everything is tapped, you can't block, someone swings out, and you're just like, no you, and they fucking punch themselves in the face really quick.
So, well, it probably wouldn't be good in this, but there's that creature that gives instants and sorceries you control lifelink.
Yep. I don't have that in there because so much of this doesn't
you don't have a lot of...
I have 3 cards that deal damage to someone.
Yeah, that would be better, way better in like a burn deck, so...
Yeah, most of this stuff, like I said, is messing with combat. So if it's, I have a couple cards in here that make somebody skip combat phases. You might notice that if you're looking at the list, I do have red, white infect cards in here. So if I get to choose blockers and I get to let infect slide through unblocked.
Oh, that's really annoying.
I have, what else? A combo that I found in here that's, what were you going to say?
Well, you might already be about to mention it, but Abu Jafar, I just realized
yes, that's
why
exactly.
You have melee.
Yep.
So, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I was going to say this Nemesis Mask Abu Jafar combo that I have in here. Nemesis Mask is 3 colorless, 3 to equip. It's an equipment. All creatures able to block, equipped creature do so. You slap that on Abu Jafar, which is a 1 white pip. Summon Leper.
Yeah, that's been eroded.
Yeah, I'm sure it has. Summon Leper. If Abu Jafar is put into the graveyard from play during combat, bury all creatures blocking or blocked by Abu Jafar. So it's an angrier prize unicorn. If you slap Nemesis Mask on that, it swings. All of someone's creatures have to block it, and it doesn't have to do damage to kill him. It just says if creatures blocked it, they fucking die if he dies.
Yeah, and that's actually really good with melee too.
That's
super. A board wipe.
Yeah, it is. It's a board wipe for one person. because it won't get rid of everyone else's creatures.
Yeah, that's true.
But in 1v1, it's definitely deadly. And I don't know, just playing Magic, you learn how annoying it is to have somebody tell you that all your creatures have to attack each combat. Because there are those times where you Cold War and you don't want to swing because you like to have creatures on the field. So having someone that's making you do it every turn is pretty fucking annoying. Oracle and Vec is another card that I was very interested to see. It's a colorless and a white pip. It's a 1/1, so 2 for a 1/1. You tap target opponent, target opponent chooses any number of creatures he or she controls. During that player's next turn, those creatures attack if able, and no other creatures can attack. At the end of the turn, destroy each of those creatures that did not attack. Use this ability only during your turn. So it's like you can attack with everything, or you can't, but if you don't, they die. And just like giving someone that option opens up so many weird interactions. And I'm very excited for this deck. I think it's gonna run like dog shit, but you'll find that you're gonna make decks that probably suck, but hey, you can always edit them later. Fix it in post. You can always edit it later and make it run better. You'll notice Mesa Ith made its way into this deck, and I'm very glad I pulled it. And if you look, this deck is... I would call it budget. It says, according to Scryfall, where I built it in, the TCG player price is $103. I can tell you right now, the two most expensive cards in this, or the three most expensive cards in this deck are Sun Titan, Aurelia the War Leader, and Aurelia the War Leader is the only creature I have in here that's going to give me more than one combat phase, because that's just been done so many times. I'm like punk rock. We're kind of punk rock on this podcast.
Punk rock here.
That's just not something I care too much about. I didn't want to really focus. I don't know. I just wanted to fuck with other people. I think red-white control is fucking a weird thing that nobody plays and very unexpected. So,
Sun Titan is like less than $1.
No, I know.
Mana expensive.
Yeah. But cost-wise, Maze of Ith and Aurelia are the two most like dollar expensive cards in this deck, and I just pulled Maze of Ith. So
right.
You can swipe probably about like whatever before the reprint. It was, I don't know how much it was, but I think it's sitting at like $10 or something now. So this is like a $90.
Dominaria Remastered one is like $3.
Oh, okay, sick. So yeah, this deck is like maybe $80, and that's with all the lands in it. And I have a bunch of basics listed in the price, so very cheap. We'll see how she runs. I'm very excited for it. I will say I do have one infinite mana combo in here. Whoops, I forgot to mention that.
Oops.
EDH
Did I
Rec.
do that?
EDH Rec is a really great tool if you're looking at building commander decks, or you see a legendary creature that you think is cool, but you don't really know where to go from there because you don't have a really big scope in terms of like the Magic catalog. If you haven't seen that many cards, so you don't know what to put in there, but you know you have a legendary that you want to work with, I would go on EDH Rec because it will supply you with pretty much everything you ever want to see. And if there are known combos with a legendary creature, it tells you right up front. And that's how I discovered this combo. Since Zerda makes activated abilities that aren't mana abilities cost 2 less to activate.
Yes, that is correct.
Grim or Basalt Monolith. It doesn't untap during your untap step. You can tap it for 3 colorless, and then you can pay 3.
Oh my god.
To untap Basalt Monolith, so that drops down to 1. So you net 2 off of that interaction. You tap it for 3. You use one of those floating mana to untap it, and then you can just have infinite colorless mana very, very easily. Like, so easy. It's crazy.
Yeah, wow. What the fuck? That's a 2-card infinite mana combo.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
like, and
Infinite
one of them
Color
is my
was final, but-
commander. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just a little wombo combo in there. I don't know how important that's gonna be, but why not? I figured, why the fuck not?
Yeah. I'm gonna talk about it again.
Yeah.
My colorless artifact deck has a bunch of infinite combos in it that I have never gotten off, but it was just fun to throw them in there.
Yeah, we all want to do it. Like, we talk all high and mighty, but yeah, of course I want a fucking infinite combo. It's hilarious.
Well, yeah, it is.
As long as, like, every game doesn't end with you infinite comboing, or the only time I get bored of it, and I am getting bored of my Rogue Rack deck because of this, if you find yourself sitting around waiting for it to hit, and you know you're gonna hit it eventually, I just get over that.
That's just what your deck is about, is getting the infinite combo.
Yeah, then you're like, okay, well, I can just stop doing this now. But yeah, super excited for this. It's nice to have something that's pretty cheap to make as well.
Yeah, that seems really interesting, and I'm excited to play against it with my Sphinx deck.
Yeah. And that's all I got. I will say, okay, real quick, I did put Figure of Destiny in here, and I love Figure of Destiny. Oh, God, 2 quick highlights. Figure of Destiny is Boros, so red or white, for a Kithkin 1/1. I love Kithkins. They're hilarious.
Oh, Kithkin, yes.
Their arts
Can we go back to Lorwyn? Oh, my God.
Yeah, where's that? It's got to be coming down the pipe. You know it's got to be coming down the pipe.
Yeah, but I don't want like Lorwyn remastered. I want like a new Lorwyn.
No, I mean, we exist in a world where flip cards are a thing, so Lorwyn would be dope because you could just have light and dark on the same card. Yeah.
Anyway,
Figure of Destiny it's an upgrader, so you can pay Boros. Figure of Destiny becomes a Kithkin spirit with base power and toughness 2/2. You can pay 3 Boros. If Figure of Destiny is a spirit, it becomes a Kithkin Spirit Warrior with base power and toughness 4/4. And then you can pay 6 Boros. If Figure of Destiny is a warrior, it becomes a Kithkin Spirit Warrior Avatar with base power and toughness 8/8, flying, and first strike. So it's like you get to go on this whole journey with him.
Yeah.
And then Goblin Cadets is a card that I actually came across because Jack runs it in his Blim Comedic Genius deck. And the moment I saw it, I realized the potential for this. Goblin Cadets is fucking hilarious. It's just funny. 1 red mana for a 2/1. Whenever Goblin Cadets blocks or becomes blocked, target opponent gains control of it. So you remove it from combat, it immediately goes to that person, so it just doesn't do damage.
Just nothing happens.
Nothing happens. So when I get to choose blockers, it's just like, I don't know. Like when it's just so funny. It's just really fucking funny. So it's funny that I could just like redirect to Goblin Cadets and quick scramble it to someone else, or I can have it as a blocker and block with it and then nothing happens and it goes to someone else. Or if I have a card with trample, now there's nothing to block the trample because I've redirected the blocker to Goblin Cadets. So it just like opens up this whole weird extra thing, and the fact that this stupid fucking card is just gonna go around the table brings me so much joy. But that's it. That's all I got.
All right. Well, shall we move on to the sideboard then?
Yep, sideboard it is. In the sideboard, we talk about stuff that isn't what we just fucking talked about.
Usually we try to talk about things that are not magic related. Sometimes we talk about things that are magic related.
Whatever we want. That's what a sideboard's for.
It's whatever we want. Shut up. It's our podcast. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
So, what do you got for sideboard today?
So So you usually talk about like horror movies, and I do watch movies occasionally. I don't watch them like every night or anything, but I've been watching a TV show. It's tangentially related to movies, and this TV show is called Instant Dream Home.
What is that?
Where it is like the HGTV style thing where they go and renovate a house, but they do the whole thing in one day. So these people, like, they have an accomplice that is in their family or a friend to get them away from the house for 12 hours, and they get like 250 people to go in and fucking rip everything out and renovate the entire house. It's fucking insane, and it's super fun to watch. They fucking added an entire bathroom onto one house. They like built a kitchen outside of the house and then like slid it into one of them.
Damn.
It's some crazy shit.
I'm sure everything is up to code as well.
I mean, it's they seem to do pretty well, and I'm sure it has to be. So yeah,
I guess. Yeah, I mean, I did see a TikTok. Oh, I saw a TikTok about this guy who had an HGTV show up to his house and do renovations, and like they never put a drain in his bathroom. Or they like
God.
never put a drain in the shower, and like the sink, the water pressure from the sink doesn't spray into the sink. It just like shoots over the basin onto the fucking floor and shit. Like, it's
wow, that's awesome.
It looks pretty, and none of it is functional. It's just like a nightmare.
Oh God, I should look up some of that. Oh, that would actually just add to the enjoyment of the show.
Yeah.
But that's
Well,
it. That's all I got. What do you have?
Nice. This week I am going to be talking about a horror movie again.
Whoa.
It's been a while. If you look back, it's been a few episodes at least. We're going to be talking about this movie that I guess people have never heard of, called Brain Dead or Dead Alive. I think in the United States it's usually called Dead Alive. It goes under that title. In New Zealand it is Brain Dead. This is a very, very early Peter Jackson movie. You might have heard of Peter Jackson. He made King Kong. Oh, he also made, like, Lord of the fucking Rings.
Oh, I remember that guy.
Yeah. In Brain Dead / Dead Alive, these people go to some fucking, yada, 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 make-believe land or some place that everyone thinks is third world. It's bullshit 80s not good stuff.
Yeah.
They bring back a Sumatran rat monkey, which is what it's called. It bites someone and suddenly, like, yada yada yada, everyone's zombies. And, and these zombies are like Evil Dead, Deadite level zombies where they talk and they say shit, and these like zombies bang and make a zombie baby. And this priest literally in this movie says, "I kick ass for the Lord," and starts karate kicking and punching zombies. It is full on camp, ridiculous trash, filth, horror. And it's pretty good. If you've never seen it and you like dumb movies, you definitely need to watch this movie. It's fucking hilarious. I will say it is one of the few movies that I've watched and I thought I was going to be sick watching it. Just because it is a goopy, like, beyond bloody disaster. Like, pus, filthy goop mess.
Oh.
But, I mean, there's some cool Easter eggs in it. If you ever watch it, you'll realize, wow, I've seen this in a lot of stuff that I've seen. So, for example, at one point, somebody picks up a lawnmower and starts it and just runs through a crowd of zombies with, like, a lawnmower on his chest with the blade spinning.
Yeah.
And if you've ever played Dead Rising, you've probably done the same thing, and it's a direct reference to this movie. So, very fun, very messy. If you like Evil Dead, I would just watch its redneck cousin, Dead Alive. And yeah, that's what I got this week. Watch Dead Alive. Or Brain Dead. It's fucking bizarre and messy, and I can't believe they allowed this man to direct multi-million-dollar movies.
That sounds awesome. I do need to watch that.
Yeah. Well, you got anything else?
No.
Neither do I. So,
All right. Let's move on to the end step.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening / watching. If you want to see anything else that we do, we're Magic on Tap everywhere. Instagram, Untapped, YouTube, Spotify, not Facebook. So look us up. And thanks.
Yeah, thanks. And, a paladin steed is a celestial spirit in animal form.